and he's here in spirit. And I think, Maggie, we're gonna send him a message.
We are gonna. Do you guys want to send him a message? So you guys know, like San Diego, we said, you know, suck it, Tim. Well,
And did he? Did he?
I don't know, Kirsten.
No, as far as we know, he sucked it. Yeah.
As far as
We got confirmation on the sucking of it.
yeah. Okay. Wow, guys, Dulay's not even here. Oh. Anyway, so what if we say, suck it again to Tim, but louder than San Diego?
Yeah, because you're New York. Come on. Make sure you look right into Chris's camera over there, because we want to get this right.
So what are the 3 words we're saying again, Chris?
Suck it again. On the count of 3, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I feel like New York is louder than San Diego.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So, guys, how does it feel to be back here and to be together? Like, what?
I just, I feel bad, but I don't want to sound like a dick, but Dule is like really, really late to this thing right now.
Yeah, even like by due late time, he's
Yeah.
like,
Should we just wait?
Make sure we wait for him? Do you want to call him? I'll text him. Text him.
Yeah.
See where he is.
Gonna wait?
I'm asking if there's an ETA.
You know, let's just show him.
Screw Dule.
Just show
Yeah.
the movie. Dule's not here?
I guess maybe there's information on a clip that's about to be played. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
Greetings, New York Comic Con. What up, Psych-Os? James Roday. And unfortunately, here is not there with all of you. I'm in the middle of rehearsals right now for my new musical, Lights Out, in which I play Nat King Cole. Now, Nat King Cole's real name was actually Nathaniel Adams Coles. And there are various stories as to how he got his nickname. But my own theory is that he had a fake, psychic, smartass partner who introduced him as Nat King Cole one day, and it stuck. In which case, I guess he's lucky he didn't end up with Nat Silly Pants Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope you all enjoy the preview of the movie, especially my bits. I can't wait for you to see the whole thing, including, at long last, a love interest for Burton Gus. Come on now, come on, son. Gus got a lady, that's what I'm talking about, Joe. Now, speaking of weights, although I can't be there today, it is my honor and my privilege to share with all of you as the very first people anywhere in the whole wide world, the air date for Psych. Which is, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, December 7th. That's right. 2 months from today, Psych the movie is coming to you. So please, start planning your viewing parties right now and let the countdown begin. What? Thank you so much, Psych-Os, for sticking with us over all of the years and for making it possible for us to do this movie. You all are the best, and we wouldn't be here or there or here without you. Now, enjoy the panel and please ask Roday some tough questions. See you later.
One take? Do you guys think he did that?
He just kept going.
First take, Dule.
Yeah.
Before we get into the questions, James, I know you wanted to share a little something.
yeah, if we could just take a moment to get real for a second. I know that's weird for us, but we lost a member of our psych family very recently. Some of you were lucky enough to meet him. That's correct, and interact with him. His name was Terry Goldman, and he handled all of our social media for most of the run of our series. He's the guy that taught me that social media wasn't a two-headed demon, and that I could actually embark on a social media journey. And he made our show and the transition to social media so much smoother and easier. But most of all, he loved you guys because he was a psycho too, and he loved interacting with you, and he loved being at things like this. And we lost him a little over a week ago. He was only 45 years old, and we'd like to take a moment to pay tribute to our boy Terry with a silent psycho memorial right now. Thank you. And when we reached out to his family to inquire about a memorial service or charity or what we could do, flowers, whatever it was, we got back the following response, which was so befitting of this man with such a beautiful heart and a generous spirit. In lieu of flowers, do something in memory of Terry. Do something selfless for a stranger. Bring friends together for no reason. Take a beach vacation. Become an organ donor. Live each day to the fullest. That was from his family.
So I want to,
And Mike, one thing, and in lieu of all this, we are going to dedicate the movie to Terry Goldman.
he would have loved all of this today, all of this, and I'm curious, just to sort of segue here, what is it like for you guys to be back here, to be back together, the gang's back together? How does it feel?
I think Corbin was just happy to get out of the house.
No, it's great. We reading the script, but the minute I stepped onto the set, it was just as if it had never stopped. And I think it's it's sort of a tribute to the show that we just fall back into play. It's a family. It's a family. I don't think it'll ever go away. I mean, at least not for the next 5 movies. What Steve keeps talking about. I'll be up for another season.
Steve, do you want to make an announcement about future movies?
Yeah, is there a network that's going to pay for it? But yeah, my plan was always 6 movies. 6 movies. So we got 1 down,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there. But like Corbin said, it was day 1 that the first thing we shot was between James and Dulé, and it was 5 minutes in. That not only were they as good as they ever were, but it was faster, it was funnier, it was sharper. It's like we left off that day in 2014 and just picked up this week, and it like no time had passed. And I just can't wait for people to see the movie. We should really show just the rest of it. I mean, we got it queued up.
That's just cool. Yeah, that's
There's not a panel after this, is there?
Can we talk a little bit about what happens in the next, you don't have to give anything away, but it's sort of my job to sort of pull as much out of you as I can. I'm curious about the Sean and Jules' wedding situation. There seemed to be some tension in that relationship. She wasn't wearing the ring. Well, first of all, the ring was stolen in the finale.
That was my first trick when I did the finale of the last episode. I wanted to make sure there was no closure so that the network couldn't say, well, that show's done. There's always more that's going on. So, and Sean, yes, still hasn't gotten around to replacing the ring. It might be a problem, it seems, from what we're seeing. It seems that Sean, he has these obstacles, but he always has everyone's best intentions at heart. And that's part of the journey of this movie is to see how that situation resolves itself. Did I not give away anything there?
I don't think you gave anything away, no.
By the way, everyone here, you're sworn to secrecy about all of this.
a good dance, Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
really,
a super
really
secret
good
dance.
Except the fact that John Cena's back. You could probably say that. You can tell your friends that if you want.
It seems like you pretty much got everyone back that you wanted. Was there anyone that you tried to get, but for whatever reason, scheduling or whatever, you couldn't get?
Lon Chaney Jr.
Technically unavailable.
Technically, just technically.
No, I feel like we got everybody we wanted to tell this particular story. We got really lucky. Everybody, I mean, it really did become like a family, so it's like calling a family member and saying, hey, come over for dinner. And everybody said yes.
Maggie, what was it like shooting this? Did it feel like no time had passed?
Yeah, I've probably said this a million times now, but it sort of felt like coming home. Like everybody, you know, obviously we missed Tim so much, but it was, I mean, stepping on set like the first day. I was a little rusty at first, I'm not gonna lie.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
But it really was like yeah, it was almost surreal how it felt like we had just left. It was awesome.
We should say also that like one of the cool things about bringing this family together was it wasn't just this family. It was about 75% of our entire crew
Yeah.
for the series.
Right.
When we got the green light, they canceled other jobs. They made themselves available, and they all came back, which is a testament, I think, to this top-down mentality from James and Steve to the whole rest of the cast. Everybody treated everybody else with respect, and everybody appreciated the job that they had for that many years. Nobody was trying to get off the show to do other things. We just had a blast, and so coming home was really coming home for 100 people,
Yeah.
which was really.
I think it's even more because the truth is it extends to you guys. Because look, we aren't, this massive network show with 15 million people, but the X amount of people that love Psych, you're the family. We did this part, now we get to share it with you, and I feel like you guys are part of the family.
You are.
Without you, you're part of the shines like that.
We wouldn't have gotten to do this movie if it wasn't.
Yeah, if it wasn't for you guys.
Well, and the fact that people kept discovering it. So we even wrapped. We've been off the air for what, 3-4 years now?
3.
And then we get people to say, oh my God, I just saw the show. I just discovered this show. If it was streaming or, I've got a DVD set or a friend introduced me, and that had never really happened on my scope before, that our audience kept growing, even after the end, which turned out not to be the end.
And it's going to keep going for 10 more movies.
It's true. There's a lot of good shows out there. There's cats and creators and crews would probably love to come back together and do what we got to do. But the bottom line is you guys are the reason that this show got to do it.
I'm curious, how many people out there have seen every single episode? Enough said.
I'm not even sure I've seen every single episode.
I've not seen every. Well, I think I missed one, and I wasn't in it.
When you guys wrapped on the finale, was there a sense that, oh, this isn't the end? Like, was there a, did you feel like it was goodbye forever? Or did you have a hunch? No, well, we're gonna be back together.
I was in zombie makeup with my fingers chopped off from James's episode. This is the last night we shot. But even on that night, I believe if you just speak things, they will be, that you can speak them into truth. So at that point, I said, we're doing 6 movies, so I'll see you guys the first day of the next one.
But for the cast, did you believe that?
I think because of the way that the last season came together and it was so much thought and the network and the studio and everybody were like, everybody was invested, everybody wanted to do it the right way. It did sort of seem like there was enough goodwill there that we probably weren't quite finished. Yeah.
How many of those stunts did you do in that opening sequence?
You have to go all the way back to early Psych to see me doing stuff. Most of that was my boy Byron Briscoe, who made me look like a crazy kamikaze for most of the show. Yeah.
And Byron, by the way, is the guy we played as his doppelganger in the London episode. And we put them face to face. He was subbing out because they were supposed to look exactly like each other. And the great thing is James said, this man looks nothing like me. because his hair was based on the lives of real beavers, right? That's right.
Corbin, can you talk a little bit about how far into the movie before we see you?
What were we
I
at?
haven't seen the cut.
About the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, last 5 minutes. I'm in the opening credits, if that counts.
And that's enough.
No. The truth is, I read the script and it was pretty good. It was okay. And then I came in and it got really exciting. Now, I think it's about. So thank you to my 5 fans out there. I think it is about halfway, but it's quite an entrance. That's my tease.
We had to spend a minute to figure out how to get Henry from Santa Barbara to San Francisco because everybody else is already in San Francisco. So we had to do a little splaining, and then we got him. We got him there.
Do we find out what he did with the old psych office?
That is a question to be answered in Psych the Movie 2. There you go. But that said, making the psych office a exact replica of the shop from Gremlins was a fulfillment of James and my bucket list on the highest order.
Kirsten, there was a little joke about your on-screen husband who no one's ever seen. Are there any hints about who he is? Are we going to maybe see him?
You've never seen him either. We had, I'm not even going to tease it. But there were like all these talks. When did we have that big meeting? Like between season 1 and season 2 when we had the powwow down in the Manhattan Beach offices and they're like, oh, Kirsten, I think we might approach Sting, or there were all the Eastside Morales is definitely going to be your husband, and just to dangle those carrots out there,
Right from Sting right to Eastside.
right? Like there was nobody.
We know how to tease.
And then they said we Corbin do. You become Sean's mother. It's pretty cool.
So, do we ever meet my husband? I don't know. You might have to find out at the end of the movie.
So Dooley in that video, he referred to a casting scoop that we broke actually on TV Line, and it was nice that he gave us no credit in that video for that scoop. But anyway, his real-life fiance is going to be playing his love interest in the movie.
That's correct.
How did that come about?
Well, we had all, since forever, wanted to work with Tina Turner, so when Dooley started dating her, it was like, she's gonna be in the movie, right? And he was like, I don't know, she mostly does private dancing. Thank you, everyone. No, it's the incomparable Jasmine Simon, and she is fantastic, and she's in love with Dooley Hill, and he's in love with her, and you can feel it in every frame that they're together.
How is this one different for Gus? Like, how is this relationship any different?
Well, I think it's safe to say that Gus is taking a big, hot, steaming cup of his own medicine in this movie. It's Gus is feeling what it's like to be Gused. And I think that's what's fun about it. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. Gus is out, Gus.
Definitely.
Does this movie end on a cliffhanger?
Does this movie what?
End on a cliffhanger.
There's always going to be a cliffhanger as long as there's a psych movie. Otherwise, I'm going to give somebody in an office really high in a tower somewhere, well, they're done with that, right? It's done. The story's closed.
No, that's how we get to make more, is you leave things really unsettled.
Even if that question is, well, who is Mr. Vick? That's still enough of a question.
That's still a question.
That just launches us into season 8.
Do you have an end in mind? Should the day come when you're all like 80 years old and you actually can't get to the set to make a 19th movie?
It's the exact same ending as Cocoon 1. It's shot for shot. I'm Don Amici, obviously.
think we're going to take some questions from the audience. You guys have some questions? Make them good. Right over here.
So dark.
It's taking a
there,
lot
guys.
longer than I anticipated.
While they get the microphone ready, we should mention that Michael Osceola has a book out.
Oh, come on. This is neither the time nor the place.
Oh, really?
I am currently reading your book.
Well, and it's competing with Corbin and Amanda's
Oh,
book
Corbin
right
and
now,
Amanda
that
have
book
a
clipping.
book.
So, what is the title of that book while we wait?
Spoiler alert, the hero dies. Anyway, question?
Hi guys, I love you. You guys are awesome. But the question is, okay. The question is actually scheduling wise. Would you guys be down for another season?
I got excited.
Was that ever discussed, like instead of a movie, like, you know, a X-Files 6 or 10 episode season?
We just wanted the movie. We didn't really think we were going to get the movie, and it was a surprise. It was such a surprise, but I think, you know, we're always down to be together because it's just, you know, we always knew from the beginning, it's like people had to fly to Vancouver to be on this show. So the only thing we could offer them, and it wasn't a lot of money, was to have the most fun, the best experience with the nicest people that they can imagine. So we have a great time. So I think we're always down for the experience, you know, but, you know, Corbin is really, really popular in big parts of Asia, so he's got a lot of movies.
What does that mean? I'm not in the series? I'm confused. There will be a series. I see it.
Yeah, man.
Next question.
On the other side.
Other side.
Oh, it's
Oh my gosh.
Two lines.
It's a whole new
wow.
Hi, my name is Bran. I'm from Keyport, New Jersey, and I wanted to ask James, what was your favorite nickname that you called Gus in the series?
All the way from Jersey, huh? Yeah. You know, I try to give, like, I love so many of them that I try to sort of go by whatever my mood is in the moment. And, you know, when we got to our hotel, we all had these little spray bottles of lavender waiting for us in our rooms that you're supposed to, like, squirt on your pillow and on your linens, because that's supposed to help you sleep. Is this a thing? Have you guys heard about this?
It worked.
So I'm gonna go with lavender gooms. Because of the hotel, thanks.
Does Santa Barbara get any play in this? I mean, I know it's in San Francisco, the show's in San Francisco now, but, you know, my heart is still in Santa Barbara. And
It does get some play.
yeah.
Not as much as it wants, but it does get some play.
Like 8th grade play.
Next question, over here.
Corbin, when you were playing the flashback version and the present day version, did you do them differently, and did you prefer one over the other?
I hated the wig, I can tell you that. That wig was my enemy. I liked doing that because I liked what it did structurally to the show. It's seeing where Sean came from. And it was fun. I just think I look like an idiot in that wig. That's me. I don't, you know, hey, when you go bald, you gotta stay bald. You just don't, no, that's it. You don't put wigs on. So, yeah, I was never happy. Blonde guys should not, as they age, blonde guys should lose their hair. That's my attitude. Otherwise, I don't know.
All blonde guys? All of them.
Robert Redford seems to have made it work, but that's it. The rest of them, no.
Corbin was so focused on his hair that he didn't notice that we used 3 different kids to play young Sean.
I knew there was something, and now...
Next
I think,
question.
were there 4, actually?
Maybe. Other side.
Rob from Queens. I was wondering, what is each one of your favorite episodes or scenes from the seasons? What was your personal favorites?
I think I will go with all the ones that I wrote. topped only by all the ones that I wrote and directed. James?
Gosh, I guess, you know, I'm a horror guy, so I got a kick out of being able to do silly, funny, scary stuff. But I also love the yin-yang episodes. I don't know, man, it's like impossible to choose one because we did so many different things and so many issues. I mean, there's stuff that Maggie was so good at and Dulé was so good at, and Tim when he did the Shining episode. I mean, how could you possibly choose one? It's like trying to choose between your babies.
We
I don't
can
know
choose
what
Psych the movie.
what that means or what that's like, but I would imagine it's like trying to choose between your babies.
I still love Scary Sherry.
It's lovable.
It is lovable. And it is hard to choose one, but I want to call out Psych-Os as well, because our Kirsten Nelson.
That's right, she lensed it.
I lensed it. So then I'm not going to choose that one as my favorite. I love Jane Lynch when she played my sister for the Living Law. But I think Last Night Gus is still favorite because
That was my favorite episode. Next question, other side?
Hi, I wanted to actually mention my favorite episode, which is the Bollywood episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
That one doesn't come up a lot, so thank you.
As a South Asian, I thought it was really cool to see some representation on my favorite show.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask how that episode came about and why you guys decided to make something like that.
Well, we had a writer, Anupam Nigam, who was, we talked about, he was Indian, of course, and so we had talked about it for years, and at the beginning of the season, I would always put a list of dream episodes, and a musical was always up there. It took 7 years to make that one. And Bollywood was on there, and we had just never been able to figure out how to make it make sense in the real world, the case we wanted to do. And then by the time we got around to it, we realized our show doesn't need to make sense. So we just did it as we were going to do it in the first place.
And then this one was a perfect storm because at that point we had Jay Chandrasekhar direct before, and it was like, oh, this is getting fun. And then it turned out he was somehow distantly related to Sindel Ramamurthy. And then we were like, well, we've got everything we need to do. Obviously to do a Bollywood episode now.
And still, my second favorite Psych theme is the Bollywood version of the Psych theme.
so good.
Next question, other side?
Hey guys, I'm Mary from Long Island, and my question was, you guys seem to be, a really fun cast, and so I was wondering what your favorite, like, behind the scenes or blooper moment was.
That's like choosing an episode.
You know what's nice is that they don't have those signs here that remember that most of your audience is under 18, so keep it clean.
Yeah.
They don't have. They do that for us in San Diego, not here. So go ahead and tell those blooper, right? It's like, which bloopers can we tell because we got to keep it clean. No, we don't.
James, see the wheels turning. Are you thinking of one?
I think my favorite behind the scenes moment is in the musical, Jamaican Inspector was, nobody at the network knew that there was a Jamaican Inspector song, and it was never in the script. It was always this thing like, if we have time, I'm gonna film Dulé somewhere doing Jamaican Inspector, and we had just done the thing where Sean is hung by the bad guy, and he's getting thrown up, and then Yang's fighting with the sword, and James had been on this lift going up and down and being a trooper, and just as James got out, I go, hey, put Dulé in that chair, and we put Dulé in, and we just drove this thing around the set. And it was, we did it once, and it was amazing, and he was perfect and spot on. And I go, this entire song is going this entire shot. We ended up doing it again because you could actually see us at the Village watching in the background. So we did it a second time, it was even better. And it's those kind of things that aren't in the script and just come about, and you're just flying by the seat of your pants. They're just so fun and so great about these guys because they deliver every single time, no matter what you ask them to do.
Yeah, and when our boy Andy Berman directed his first episode, we all conspired to be incredibly difficult. in the first scene, his first blocking, when he came to set, he had all this energy, he was like pumped up and nervous, and all of us were just like, what? Why would we possibly do that, dude? Have you thought about this at all? Have you ever seen our show? What are you talking about? And we let it go on for way too long. That was pretty good.
Next question? Over here.
Yes, hi, I'm Andrew from Mineola, Long Island. And just want to say I've been watching the show since I was 7, and I've seen almost every single episode. I was wondering whose idea was it to be like, at the beginning of this series, to be, you know what, I'm going to put a pineapple in every single episode of this series until the end of it. So I just want to know whose idea was that.
You know, it's etched in history, and the truth is, like, we can only take minimal credit because it started with an improv bit in the pilot, but it was really the psych art department that got the bright idea to start putting pineapples in every episode. And by the time we caught up, it was like, yeah, there's been one in every single episode. We're like, really? Well, that seems like something we could riff on. So props to our art department. Yeah.
I can't wait till you see the pineapple in the movie because it's actually an inside joke to another pineapple in another episode. So you guys know, once again, you're
full-on pineapple tribute. Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect segue to a clip that we're going to run. You guys are doing this really cool thing, sort of like Hands Across America, but pineapple across America, where fans are tossing pineapples to random strangers that they don't know of, and you can upload your own pineapple videos at usanetwork.com. But we have a short little clip to give you a sense of what this campaign looks like. You actually had with the network.
I think it's a conversation that we should, from this show forward, get started with in all of America. And it starts with people tuning into the movie on December 7th, 2017. James and I we wrote this movie together. We'll probably write them all together. We may change who directs them, but it's such a joy and such a great thing. And
we'll go on this journey as long as you guys feel like carrying us. That's about.
Do you have an idea of what the plot of the second one is?
Not only that, in the script, James actually put a title for the next one at the end of the script, which I didn't even know about until we turned it in that day. I go, okay, all right, that sounds fine.
Can we have a hint?
Oh no, it gives away too much. It gives away too much.
No. It's okay, you guys, because it can change.
All right, I'll tell you. It's Psych the Movie 2.
Yeah.